I now have to go with the team which, if it makes to the finals, then Reported is going to get the guaranteed win right there. So I would go with NAVI as well. And we have already the first attack underway. And Eric, I think we're going to see it again. 6 skeletons, an earthquake, rage, and 5 invisibility for a Town Hall Skelly Donut.
Town Hall Skelly Donut, Synthe's new attack. He's been developing this, but to break it out on this stage is insanity. He's going after the Monolith, the Expo, and the Town Hall by the looks of it, as he just protects with the invisibility. He takes his primary targets down outside of the Town Hall, and it looks like the Town Hall is going down as well, but... Yes, maybe, yes, okay. Oh my goodness, I was starting to get worried there for a second, but every single spell is invested into that Itsu.
Yeah, and to me, it's crazy with like how the skeletons actually from the Monolith joined up with the skeletons on the Town Hall to take it out. And now we have this log launcher with the heroes diving into the middle of the base. He's trying to take down all of those multi-inferno towers with this dive. This is what he has done the last time as well, and trying to take down as much damage as possible, which is located in the middle of the base, because this is where those super barons cannot reach, because they cannot get that far into the base. But right now, they have a problem. That queen is not going to the core, and this means we have to reinforce stuff with the Royal Champion.
It's fine, though. He still has the Electro Titan that was fighting off the defensive CC, which is always nice for Ice Golems. Electro Titan is a very, very good way to fight off the CC. There's actually 2 of them right there, so even when they're frozen up there, they continue to deal their aura damage, and they continue to work that CC down, and they make so they can power through Lava Hounds and Ice Golems very, very efficiently, which is why we always toss them into these big kill squads. But the heroes just push it across the left side of the base there, and he did get the defensive queen out of the way on the right side, so the World Champion steps in there. Diggy takes the stun, and there's nothing that's going to slow this down right now. He's absolutely got it under control. Synthe, with his monster Skelly Donut Town Hall takedown, is taking another triple. Back-to-back wars here with this insane new attack.
And how do you defend this? I feel like the only way on how you can prevent this as a base builder is putting an invisibility tower next to the Town Hall, which is not optimal right now. Like, typically you don't want to do that, but I feel like this is the only way on how you can stop Synthi doing this. I mean, if he's going to do that to every single base, what are you going to do about it? This is the only way to stop it, and he just keeps smashing those spaces with this one. It is crazy.
Yeah, it's weird that you have an attack be so consistent here when he's the only person in the world that is using that attack there. Like, to have such a very, very signature, unique attack that nobody else is able to even think to attempt there, and then to be able to pull it off on this kind of a stage while you're down to the top 4 and playing for $50,000 and a qualification in the World Championship of Clash of Clans. Like, to have that kind of a pressure and you're doing this, that's pretty impressive right there, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, having to play every single invisibility spell perfectly. I mean, for most of the players, even including him maybe, the hands are shaking. So getting those spells right is not easy. And we have seen many times over all of those tournaments that people are messing things up, turning the wrong buildings invisible, like the Town Hall. If that would have been turned invisible, this attack is pretty much in somehow save the 2-star attack or even the 1-star, because he has invested all the spells, but the Town Hall going down, it's a lot of risk on the line, but he's just making this work in such a consistent fashion. But now it's NAVI. They were, well, the teams we both picked and predicted to win. So let's see if they can go in a throw with this one. And I mean, Eric, we have another Super Barbarian attack. What is going on?
All right, this one coming in from Bernal, though, and it's against Synthe. So I mean, it's like a duel between the alternates for the Navi roster, who's been playing in a variety of different tournaments with them. But Bernal was the team that originally qualified to the World Championship with Navi, as he comes back to the roster for ClashMSTRS and is going to drop in the Super Minion, able to secure the Tower takedown, was able to get the Monolith down, will work on the CC there, and takes it. So any troops that were still inside are no longer going to be able to be deployed, which is kind of the strength of the Super Minion Bomb there, because a lot of times in the Super Archer Bombs, you pull the CC stuff to deal with it, but in a Super Minion Bomb, since it's all air, if you take the CC down with the super minions themselves, then you don't have to worry about any CC troops at all, and you can just have the light air, or the light, what is it, archers? Yeah, you can quickly power through archers and then get into the base here with the super barbarians.
Yes, but right now the king is running into all of the damage of that defending warden. The queens keep getting protected by giants, ice golems, or the electro titan early on, but not right now. She is on her own with the Roy champion diving into the Multi-Inferno Tower, the king getting pushed into the eagle, but the king is not having that many hit points just left.
Yeah, so what's even more interesting about this is if Navi ends up knocking Millesime out, then we could end up seeing, if Millesime doesn't get a golden ticket out of this competition, that we could end up seeing Synthé getting signed into Navi potentially. They've been teasing that a little bit there as a potential, as we've been seeing him play over there. So like Synthé, he's that gives a little bit more incentive here for Bernal to pull through here to make sure that they want to keep him on the team there and keep him on for the World Championship. And if he wants to stay on the team, I guess we'll see what happens there. But Synthé continues to just mow down some of these super barbarians on defense here as Bernal continues to drive this road champion in on the right side. Headers get him through the defensive queen, and Bernal doesn't seem to be slowing down much here. He's got extra invisibility that he did not use at the start of the attack. There's the road champion able to utilize all these extra spells here while the Rage Tower is active, and it's kind of close here, Itsu.
It is really close. The Rage Tower running out, but the Royal Champion now on her own without Diggy. This one Expo seems to stay alive, and yes, he's getting a high percentage, but 3-star is out of reach with the one Expo and the Tesla being alive in that core. It was really close, but it's not enough for the 3-star. It feels like Bernal is not getting 100%, 98% though. So it's not the end of the world. It's a really high percentage, and we have seen a lot of those matches coming down to the percentage during it.
Interesting, but that means the Skelly donut for the Town Hall is actually what ends up putting Millesime into the lead here in this match. Synthé, MVP status potentially right there with a triple with that insane attack there against the defending world champions, and then turns right back around and thinks of the defense as well. So good on offense, good on defense there as the Super Barbs end up falling just slightly short there. The one ground expo is all it took there to be able to maybe have that attack turn around there. If the queen would have stepped up there and taken it, then it would have been a completely different story, but just didn't quite have the protection to get the heroes through the last little bit there. And now we're looking at a 2-building split and a 1-star advantage for Navi.
Yes, and this means, well, MILLESIME is up next, and they have to now really get those 3-stars in, or, well, otherwise, getting a lot of pressure on Navi is always important. So otherwise, maybe they're going to come back, and this is really the do or die situation for them regarding this golden ticket. And yes, they are in. Amiel in. I think so far it's not his tournament. So the question is if he can step things up and get the 3-star for his team. And he's starting things off with some incredible lightnings to take down a huge part of this base.
Yeah, was that an Expo, Scatter Shot, Wizard Tower, Archer Tower, all in a nice little block there. Also, we picked up the mortar as well by making so the lightning was used half on one side of the heavier defenses and half on the other. You can see the symmetrical block of defense on the other side of the base there for comparison of what all he got out of that. But then a Warden block steps in and gets the defensive world champion down, which I always am a big fan of. I think the Warden is excelling at taking down the defensive world champion because he tends to just pull her attention so she stands on the approach side of the pad, and then she can not attack him because she can't have the range, but then he can attack her, and she just stands there and takes the hits there. So actually, a Warden walk into a world champion is actually a very, very safe approach into the base there. And it does, I mean, as a defender, you could recognize that information and make so that the Royal Champion side of the base there would be trapped against smash attacks. But we'll see how Stars' base is set up here to receive this as he makes his way to the artillery, and he still needs to travel through and guess the blimp probably to secure the Town Hall, would you guess?
Yeah, the blimp is a really good chance. That's why I used the rocket loons, but I feel like the healers were out of range for a long time, and with the ice golems being in place, it took them quite a bit of time to actually heal up the troops. We see a lot of Titans dropping low. Even a couple of them are going down already. The Town Hall is down indeed, but can those Yeti Mites get that? Yes! The monolith just exploded. And with having now 3 Titans alive and the King and the Royal in place now as well, this is looking incredible for MILLESIME.
Yeah, that's what he needed right here. He's struggled at the earlier stage of the tournament here, but he comes back and gets it done when it counts there. Pops the Queen ability, gets the defensive Queen down. Royal Champion moving across the bottom of the base there. Diggy taking stuns. He's got the Giant down there providing some extra support. And RC ability to go off there, and defenses are going down. Plenty of force here. Tons of remaining time. There's all smiles over here from Allen, as he does get a second triple for MILLESIME and put some pressure over to NAVI. If NAVI ends up with another miss, they could fall 2 stars behind. So we'll see what MILLESIME can do on defense here as Allen puts some heavy pressure on.
Yeah, and I feel like it's really important as well for like the team aspect here, having the player who so far has really struggled in this tournament to get those consistent 3 stars, stepping it up, getting the 3 star is such a big deal. So that was a really important 3 star, maybe even more important than we think in this position, because for us, well, it's another 3 star on the list. For them inside the team, the inside motivations and like combinations of the players is like really nice to have him step up and really get on the same level as his team, which is so far performing incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. That mental game is just as important to be able to maintain your performance there, because there's nothing that'll kill a team faster than end up with their morale getting hit there. You got to keep the morale up there. You got to keep people's head in the game there. If they start to hang their head low there, that's where the team needs to rally, and you need to bring those players up there and get them back in action. And that's exactly what he was able to do there. And that's a big pickup right there. That's definitely going to give his team a lot of confidence moving forward here if they can continue to sustain their lead there. But at the same time, with 2 triples on the board there and a miss, we have the opposite story for NAVI. But we know that these other NAVI players can handle the pressure. They can operate independently. They can make sure that they can stay in the game there, because they have so much competitive experience and so much time under the pressure of so many people watching, being the most watched clan in all of Clash of Clans esports. So we definitely know that they can handle this, and now it's a matter of can they handle it today.
Yeah, that is the question. We have Gaku with a Queen Charge Twin Hogs, but he is mixing in the recall spell. I feel like the recall spell has been as well the big factor in this tournament so far, with the Super Barbarians getting used a lot. That is what the recall spell getting added to a lot of strategies, to a lot of armies, which I think is really cool, as the recall spell just adds a lot of creativity to a lot of attacks. So I just love the fact that it's getting used more often inside the pros and inside Clash of Clans in general. With the Queen though struggling a little bit.
Ooh.
And she's even losing her a bit.
Ooh.
What? No!
Oh!
Oh, no.
Okay, all right. Well, that's where the nerves start to come into play here. Gaku ends up with a lot of mistakes right there. Ended up forcing his Queen ability, recalled her out a strike too early, and then he had to dive his Road Champion to go pick up the slack there where the Queen left off there and make sure that Town Hall went down. But he's trying to salvage this now. It's definitely gone off the rails, and he'll try to gather whatever percentage he can out of this. But his Hogs are going to push to the core of the base. So the King's working on the outside. The Queen was redeployed over the right, and he was able to get the Super Minis to come out of the Flame Flinger and assist with the defensive Road Champion takedown. But he's definitely in a lot of trouble here at 2.
Yeah, there is going to be quite a few problems right now for Gaku, with the Hound as well being on that water and going down, which means all of those lava pups are dealing so much damage. The Queen inside that Rage Tower on the bottom side is struggling quite a bit as well. He has a couple of more freezes, but there's just so much base left to overcome. He's trying to take down the Monolith with a couple of loons and is getting it down
okay.
barely, but no wall breaks to get into the base.
Now, the question is, with that, can he still pull this back, actually? The Queen has 2 freezes. He could lock out the defensive Grand Ward. He got the CC under control. The King is down there with the Phoenix. The King's tanking, and he gets a Party Wizard into the Arch. There's no way. Is this actually having a chance to come back and so triple? I am in kind of disbelief right now. I can't believe that he's this close right now.
This is just crazy. The scatter shot though did not go down to the King.
Okay.
I mean, it did finish way closer than we expected based on what happened early on, but just imagine recording the Queen 1 second later. and this attack would have been
Wow.
completely different. But this means another high percentage. They're getting the percentage right there, but it's always missing those few buildings to get the 3rd star. And well, so far MILLESIME have not missed those few buildings, and they are looking really good in this match with a 2-star lead.
Yeah, that mistake, the recall and the little extra damage on the queen there, losing the ability wasn't the problem. The queen ended up surviving to the end. That wasn't an issue. But the recall pulled the queen out there, the strike before the town hall went down, with her ability active nonetheless there. So she was dealing significantly more damage when she pops that royal cloak. And that just waste of his royal champion as a result ultimately could have been the difference. Definitely would have been the difference there, because as he came that close there, if the royal champion is supporting the Hogs properly without having to deal with the town hall, then that 100% would have gone through.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, having to invest the royal champion there was, I mean, on his side, really quick thinking, because we had the Vader huts and stuff on that town hall, so it was really smart. But then again, just recalling the queen just tiny bit early was really unfortunate. The plan though was great, but now it's back to MILLESIME. If they 3-star yet again, this could be possibly a 3-star lead with just 3 attacks on both sides, and that would be really, really problematic. And we have now Tryhard coming in with a Super Bowler attack, and he is bringing the heal spell to this one. So what do you make of that?
Heal spell and a Super Bowler attack, definitely out of the ordinary. But I guess we'll see. I mean, a lot of times we say that the heal spells are almost useless against these bases to have rage towers, because you can't heal through the extra damage that you're going to be receiving. So you might as well just freeze and rage and try to get more out of your healers and just try to prevent damage rather than heal through it. So that tends to be the way that most people decide to do this. But if he's going to go through the town hall, which it looks like he is, he puts the warden and the queen onto the town hall side of the base there, and he's just, I guess he's gonna blimp it. I guess he's just gonna blimp out the town hall and then make his way off to the right and shoot in through the scatter shot instead, by the looks of it. Weird approach here, it's you.
Yeah, it's a really weird approach, and I feel like the tornado trap now messing things up a little bit. He wanted to get the expo, which was on the far side, but because of the tornado trap, he is now getting the expo, which is close to the queen, which the queen would have gotten anyway. So now he has to be careful that those archers are not luring all of his bowlers into the wrong compartment, which right now it might look like it.
No,
the archers are luring.
Bowlers. That wizard tower is going to go down. The bowlers might redirect south. The queen redirects
queen.
south. The queen's taking the hill as the bowlers and the queen are separating. This might be Navi's chances to come back here. This one is also going a bit off the rails, but can he recover it as far as Gaku did? As the queen completely separates from the pack here, the bowlers are going to take the jump back into the base there, and he will try to stay alive. The rage tower activates, and there's a lot of incoming damage here. He's going to be taking some heavy losses as soon as he comes out of this protection and the rages wear off.
Yeah, and with no rages left, those bowlers are not having as much impact anymore. He's trying to get them further into the base with the wall break, but there is just no troops left. The Royal Champ trying to somehow save the day with some more percentages getting picked up, but a 3-star with the defending queen being alive, the defending multi-inferno tower being alive, looks nearly impossible. He's still trying his best with the freeze still left to place, but I mean, there is a lot of base left.
There is. So at this point, Navi just needs to make sure that their next plan is set. They need to make sure that they are prepared to go to the next one and try to swing this stars, or at least level the stars a little bit there and narrow the gap, as they did get really good percentage on their attacks there. What was a 95 and a 98 were their misses, and this one will have the combined total of percentage left on both of them less than. So it is going to be a lot of percentage left on the board here, and that gives Navi the opportunity, but that means that they have to clutch on these next attacks here to be able to still swing it back here, because they're still trailing as Tryhard still racks it up to an 88%.
Yes, and for Navi would be the first 3-star of the match. I mean, they have not gotten a 3-star so far. They were twice somewhat close, but not getting it done just yet, and they now really need to get most likely 3-3-stars back to back, as we have seen like 13, maybe even 14 stars is what is needed on this level if you are in this top 5 position of teams, or top 4 position. So It's not going to be any easier, but 3 stars are really now needed for Navi, and we have a lot of really good attackers still left, so I'm not that concerned, to be honest.
Yeah, but if you start taking wins here, if whoever wins this one here, if they go on and they win the match after this and then win twice more in the grand finals, then they're into the world championship. So the path is very clear here, and Stars will try to send them down that road. It is going to be a zap into Lalo here. He's got a Stone Slammer selected at the moment here. A little bit of zap value around the Monolith there if he wanted to take it, but usually the Lightning for these attacks ends up going after something closer to the edge of the base there, so we can use it as a funnel, and that's what he does there, taking out the defense on the left side of the Town Hall. And it seems like he's trying to just reduce the damage in that area enough that he can charge the Town Hall here, and that could be some good value for him if he can keep the Queen safe.
Yeah, for keeping the Queen safe, he has the Golem in theory. He could use it right there, or maybe for the Golem, for the King for later stages. But nope, there we go. Ground Expo then is hopefully getting tanked by this Golem. That's at least the plan. So the King is not taking as much damage overall. But at the moment, the King is getting funneled into that compartment as well. So this to me looks like it's a maybe like an overkill for this compartment, because there's the Golem, the King, the Queen in there.
No,
I would have expected to use the scatter, or get the scatter.
I think the King's job there is not to go to the Town Hall, because the defensive Queen will naturally draw him over to the right side of that compartment, and so he goes in there and deals with her, and that pulls him off to the side, which clears the way for the Queen to step in, and I don't think the Queen would be able to get through that on her own, and so the King, I think, was necessary, and at the same time, the King was providing tanking for the Road Champion to get through with the assistance of an Ice Golem as well. Diggy taking stuns over there. Queen continues fighting off the defensive CC, but he has not used his poison yet. And I'm kind of curious what he does with the CC right now, because it's kind of running amok.
Yeah, but the Roger ability is keeping her healthy. And now with the poison approaching those super minions, should take those out. He's about to approach the rage up area where there is no more Gem Furniture left, which means for the Loons it's not as dangerous as you might think. The Expos are not as threatening. Nice invisibility spell to keep that Royal Champion now alive. And he's keep pushing further into the base. The Slammer just popped and the Dragon Rider is spawning.
He's got 5 Headhunters on standby here, and he hasn't used the ward ability. All the Headhunters coming now. Giant Bombs going off here. He has Spring Traps going off. Headhunters getting sprung all over the place there, but a couple of them arrive in. They take the defensive Road Champion down, and the Warden ability carried him through. It's a triple. Stars gets it done, and Navi is starting to stage the comeback. They're ahead on percentage. They're a star behind. If MILLESIME makes even one more mistake here, then they'll leave the door open, and Navi could swing back this 2-star deficit, and they could actually move into a lead here. So very big pickup right there for Stars.
And we have seen now already some comebacks over those matches. So it is possible for sure. Getting those comebacks is always really important to stay in this. Try your best and just concentrate hopefully on your own attacks, because the defense you can't really change that anymore. So just concentrate on your attacks, try to somehow stay in this mentally and keep cheering up your teammates to really perform on their highest level. And so far for Navi, the door is open with the 1 fail of MILLESIME, and now getting the 3-star and having the percentage lead. All they need is a star tie to win then on percentage, but still it's 4 more attacks, 2 attacks each for both of those teams to go for, and things are still completely open. Everything can still happen.
Definitely can, and when everything can happen, sometimes everything does. If we use that upper bracket finals match as any comparison, so like this could definitely go either way here. It's still anybody's game. Kingsman will try to make sure that it is his game as he dives in with a Queen charge into Lalo. Flameflicker in for the left side of the base here will start us off, and it is only Archer Towers and air defense anywhere in that area, so we should have moved to that area, assuming there's no traps. But conveniently, while the Sneak Goblins are going in there to take out the Collectors, they're luring out any potential Teslas, they're luring out any potential ground skellies, and also he could actually get any giant bombs out of the area as well. He does have a party wizard, I guess, drop in to go intercept the extra archers that are there, and with the CC drawn early, he's actually able to fight it off in safety, but I don't think he got a full pull there, Itzy, so I think he still has some work to do.
Yeah, but just crazy that he's using those regular wall breakers. I mean, I have tried that from time to time. It's so hard to pull that off. I mean, it's like you're not used to it anymore. Like always having the super wall breakers, they're just so nice and easy to execute. But regular wall breakers is not easy at all. The Queen though charging now in with that jump spell, so I think he didn't even count on the wall breakers to open up the second layer. The Flame Flinger well protected by the Rocket Loons to take down the Mortar, and the Queen about to take down the Town Hall.
He did open up multiple layers with the wall breaks there. I mean, maybe the jump had a different plan there, and the Queen was veering off to the left a little too far, and he had to make a correction. I'm not entirely sure, but the Queen goes down. She steps into the Town Hall Blast, and she goes down with it. And he does get the healers to transfer over, but they're under a lot of fire right now. This is a good sign for Navi, but a rough sign for Kingsman as he tries to keep this one alive.
Yes, but keeping that alive with the Queen not getting the Eagle, not getting those sweepers is a rough time. The Royal Champion now taking over though and doing exactly what the Queen was supposed to do. But she is in a lot of danger there with the 2 ground expos and the Rage Tower now going off. And take a look at that. The health of the Royal Champ is just dropping like it's nothing. Her ability might keep her alive a bit longer, but the Rage multi-inferno tower is causing a lot of issues.
Gonna get the stun, not able to get the stun in time there. And he's still got some blues moving. But the Rage Tower is still active, and the multi-inferno is gonna burn a lot of balloons up very, very rapidly. And I don't think he can get through that multi. He's very close here, Itsu. He's got a lot of time to work with here. He's still got a lot of HP on his ward, and he's still got the Electric Owl. He's got the Phoenix. He's got Ground Scale. He's distracting him, but he has to get the multi down. It's the only thing that can fight back, and he has some HP pool to work with here. This could still go through.
We have seen the pets clutching an earlier attack, but the Black Mine taking down the Owl.
Oh.
But there is no more damage, except maybe some red bombs, Black Mines. We don't know, but it's 15 seconds.
We're missing a building here. We're missing a building. I see three. Where's the fourth one? There it is up top. Minions on it. He's got the storage down up top here. 5 seconds to get through the bomb tower. Red air bombs! Take it, Warden! 2, 1, and...
No way!
Kingsman! Fall short! And Navi now has their opportunity. They have to triple to take the lead now.
Wow, what a finish. I mean, first off, it's just insane how Kingsman and Ganku earlier turned those attacks around. I always think that you see the true skill of the players just based on attacks which do not go to plan. And just saving an attack where your Queen is going down inside the Town Hall bomb like that and getting a 99 and making it so close, that was really impressive to pull off. Really saved that attack to perfection. Just so close to getting that 3-star. And as you said, now it's an open door to Navi. They have the chance of tying things up on stars and overtaking MILLESIME by a lot on percentage.
But once again, as it seems like it does happen so often, the war is on Klaus's shoulders at the end there, and he's still going to have to perform when we get there, but I think Kazuma needs to set him up properly here, so we need to see a strong attack out of Kazuma. Let's see what he can do here as we come down to the opportunity for Navi, and we'll see if they can take advantage of that miss. Otherwise, they're going to rely on another one. It's anybody's game regardless of the outcome of this attack, but if Navi can get ahead here, they now control their own fate. But it looks like Kazuma going to start him with a Yeti over to the side of the base there to go drop a Flame Flinger inside of the close range of the defenses there. And the Yeti ends up turning north and throws Yeti Mice into the mortar up top, which ends up keeping the Flame Flinger protected. And it should be able to go get the multi-inferno down, which is very similar value to what we would see out of Yeti Bomb doing the exact same thing. But he saves his CC troops there, and he can have them support later on, even throwing in some Barbarians up there to make sure that he has the Teslas pulled out and the traps triggered in that area there. He set up that very nicely, and at the same time, he's running the Queen Charge down south.
Yes, and I think it's just really interesting that a lot of those teams are using different pieces of the defense, like using different type of bases and just putting them together. Like this Eagle compartment with the 2 scatter shots dealing just so much damage in between the Rage Tower. I have seen this setup many times and a lot of people like to run it, but I have never seen this type of tunnel compartment then in combination with that. So I just think it's really interesting that the teams going for some combinations and then like mixing up other parts of the base because, well, this specific part has worked.
Ooh, Queen.
And Kazuma so far is doing a great job pushing her towards the clan castle, but there's a lot of damage.
Yeah, did go to Queen ability right there, so he still has a long path ahead of him. We're looking at the defensive Queen up ahead here. Expo, Single Inferno, Monolith. This Queen's path is very, very treacherous, but she keeps marching forward. And we'll see if he can keep her alive here. He's not going to have a lot of spell support for the balloons themselves here. He needs to focus on making sure the Queen alive, while at the same time, he's got to manage the Lalo. Lots of multitasking going on here. Also, at the same time, he's dealing with the CC over the left side of the base. There, the Town Hall is engaged. The Queen steps in. He overwhelms the Single with the Lalo, but that's about all it takes on the initial approach there. But more coming in from the right side to reinforce there. The Queen going to lose the Diggy that was passed off by the World Champion as she goes to the Town Hall. She does take the Town Hall down, but he's got to keep it moving. He's going to get this Monolith down with the blues here, hopefully. And this Queen gets one last freeze. He's out of spells, Itsu. He's just coasting from here.
Oh no, the Town Hall Poison is just dealing so much damage. The air defense at the top side is still left alive. Maybe it's coming down yet again to
Warden?
Hero and its pet. Oh, wait a second. I think the Owl's already down. The healers are trying to tank, but this air defense seems to be the big difference maker.
Yeah, he's got that Wizard Tower as well. If he gets all the collectors and storages down, then he might be able to use the Sneaky Goblin to go pick up the Wizard Tower. Then maybe he could use... Oh, I don't even know if you even attempt that. You got to go into the army camp up north, I think, there, and make sure that the Sneaky Goblin grabs that instead. And so it is going to end up being a miss. He's very, very close there. He put a lot of his attack into that Queen charge, and he just couldn't quite keep her alive at the end. And then, unfortunately, the remaining balloons there all went right through that Town Hall Poison while it was still active, and it ended up burning every single one of them up there. But it's still a very, very solid percentage, but this percentage wasn't what they needed to get the win here. So we actually end up with the lead for MILLESIME, and that means they get to control their own fate. If they triple this next one, even though they have a percentage disadvantage right now, we could see them eliminating NAVI if they can clutch this.
Yes, a lot of pressure on the shoulders of that next attacker. And if it's a 2-star, it doesn't matter if it's 99, 50%, whatever. NAVI has the chance of trying their last attack as well with a 3-star and winning that match possibly. But Ariam is having different plans. He is going to go in with the Super Archer Blimp, with the Super Barbarian, which we have seen a couple of times over this weekend, and with great success most of the time. Rocket Dunes for triggering some traps, and that has worked already beautifully.
Yeah, got the first rocket balloon to just go get all the traps cleared. Then a wave of additional rocket balloons come after that, get the Monolith down, push his way to the core of the base there, ducking under the sweepers there. He's got the double clone. He can actually clone forward to make sure he can reach all the way to Town Hall, and he does. He clones over the wall, so he's got super archers on both sides of the wall, protecting both of the groups there at the same time, and he had wall breakers inside. That's why he delayed the clone, is so he can wait for the wall breakers to clear and open up some walls, and he's able to take out a big chunk of the base there, but some key targets he did not get down are the Molten Inferno and the Town Hall. And I don't know, did he get enough value? I think he did get, I would say that that was sufficient value because of the fact that he didn't use the ward ability to take it.
Yes, I think with having the ward ability left, it is a huge thing for him. And especially on those Super Barbarian attacks, I feel like the Town Hall is not as important to get as you might have to think about a Lalo attack as a follow-up. So the Super Barons are pretty good and decent at taking down the back end of the base and overwhelm it if the walls are open, and that's exactly happening. But wait a second, nothing is really going off the heroes into the core. There's the Ice Golem, but that Queen cannot reach it, so he has to reinforce with a couple of Super Barons on his own and invest even the freeze.
Yeah, that's a lot of incoming damage there that he's trying to account for there. He goes invisible with a couple of the Super Barbarians, trying to secure the Town Hall takedown. The Ice Golem eventually freezes, and the Super Barbarians are able to claim it, but how many were invested there? I mean, on the bright side, he didn't have his Queen end up taking the blast there, even though they were taking extra damage for a little bit, but he still pushed to the backside. He's got so many Super Barbarians. I'm just waiting for the cheer, and there it is! Uryam pulls through, and he will deal the finishing blow. Ladies and gentlemen, they just took down the defending world champions, and they're surviving to the top 3, advancing in the lower bracket. Uryam gets it done when it counts the most.
Yet again, those open bases are just so bad versus those Super Barbarian attacks. He had not to invest a single wall breaks to get through the entire base. I mean, that already says a lot, and I feel like at some point we need to have a base meta changing where the base builders are not opening every single compartment and really making their base so vulnerable to the Super Barbarians. So really nicely done, smashing the entire base, just running it down with the Super Barbarians and getting that 3-star in that clutch position and winning this match for them, which means they're going to face ClashMSTRS Gaming EA in just, well, a couple of minutes. The teams are getting into the match and stuff, but for now, Navi has their last attack. And as I always say, we want to see if the last attack of Klaus could have turned this match, if this would have been a defense.
Or if Kazuma was able to get those last couple buildings, or if Bernal was able to get those last couple buildings, or any of the many time fails in this war end up going the other way here. Like this whole war could have swung by even just a couple of seconds onto either team to get the attacks through that came so incredibly short. But now, I mean, Klaus definitely has the pressure taken off here, so he can relax a little bit. And unfortunately, they are going to be knocked out of the competition, but they still are going to get 4th place. So even though Navi was not able to get the golden ticket, they're definitely playing for prize pool and getting 4th place. They definitely achieved that goal there. Not as much as they could have earned if they kept on moving on, but that does make the final rounds here a little bit more interesting because all 3 remaining teams that are still in the competition are going to be playing for that golden ticket now, and every single one of them are eligible to receive it as well. So Klaus comes in for the final attack of the war. He's going after the Skelly Donut into Mass Twin Hogs.
That is typically a strategy which I think is really strong if you combine the Twin Hogs with like spell support, which is Lightnings or the Skelly Donut. I just feel like it's so strong looking, but again, it's relying on the heroes and how much value he could get with those. Heading the Blimp just to take down this compartment. I don't think that there's going to be a rage needed. Headhunter in there as well, but the Headhunter is going down quickly from the scatter shot, but I think the Queen is already down by now. And now he's going to try to charge his Queen towards that Town Hall.
Yeah, with a nice lane there. Like, you can see all of the buildings that the Queen wouldn't be able to reach there are removed on the inside of the base there. And the Yetis are staying around way longer than I would have expected. Usually the Edomites ended up dying out there, but the Yetis are actually going to get right out ahead of the Queen, and that's just the bonus. Like, that's something that you don't expect to happen, and that's just going to improve the efficiency of the Queen, charging him up to maybe save some other troops there that he otherwise would have spent. But the King getting out in front of the Queen there. The Queen did take some damage to the start there, which we do like to have the Queen take a little bit of damage there before we have additional tanking step out in front of her. That way the Unicorn is going to maximize its value, utilizing the entire HP gain of that Unicorn, and then step up and then have the ability ready to secure the Town Hall takedown. Perfectly executed, perfectly planned here from Klaus.
Yeah, what a perfection. How he's just managing his heroes to walk through this compartment, funneling perfectly, timing especially is key with the vulnerability used early on for the Twin Hog part of this attack. More Hogs right on the outset, reinforcing the Super Hogs to really push through their core. With the bomb tower, they're losing hit points quickly, Eric.
Yeah, but he's still got the RC ability. He's got freezes to relieve the damage after it comes out of the ward ability while the Rage Towers is still active, locking up that multi-inferno. He's got skeleton spells up in the top compartment there, locking out the defensive King and the scatter shot there, reducing the damage onto the Hogs. There's still a ton of Hogs remaining. He's got the Hogs on, or the Riders on foot there, down south, breaking walls with their double damage, and they're going to join back in the fight here. More Hogs on the top side, RC ability attack there, and guys, that's tragic right there. This is absolutely crushed. Klaus gets it done, but unfortunately, because of all of the time fails this war, Navi is like on the verge of like a perfect war if they had a couple more seconds on a handful of extra attacks there and a little bit more out of Kazuma. So that's insane. That's insane. Navi definitely played very well today, but MILLESIME played better, and Navi is eliminated.
And I think overall it acts more exciting to the next couple of matches, because this means every single team in this competition does not have a golden ticket just yet. So every